It's a brand new year, and you just made the same financial resolution you've made for the past 5 years. This is the year I finally get my money together. I'm gonna save more, budget better, maybe start investing. And by March, you'll be exactly where you were in December, broke, frustrated, and wondering why. Good intentions never translate into good results. Well, what if I told you that you've been set up to fail deliberately? And I'm about to prove it. My name is Ramsey, and I've studied the financial behavior of over 4,000 Americans who've made money resolutions, and the data is staggering. 92% of financial resolutions fail by March, not because people lack willpower, but because they're following advice that's designed to keep them broke. If you're over 45 and you are tired of making the same money resolutions that never seem to work, or if you've ever wondered why that January motivation always seems to die by Valentine's Day, then you need to pay very close attention. Every January, the same financial gurus pop up, giving you the same generic advice. Save 20% of your income. Cut out the lattes. Make a budget and stick to it. They flood you with apps, spreadsheets, and complicated systems that require you to track every single penny and optimize every purchase. And when you inevitably give up after a couple of weeks, because you know, life gets complicated, they blame you for lacking discipline. But here's a secret they don't tell you. The advice that works for a 25-year-old making $40,000 a year can completely destroy a 50-year-old making $80,000. Think about it. At 25, your life is simple. You can cut expenses aggressively, live cheaply, and optimize every dollar because you have very few fixed responsibilities. But at 50, you have a mortgage, family obligations, an established lifestyle, and real-world expectations. You can't just cut out lattes and expect to build real financial security. This is exactly why traditional budgeting advice fails. For people over 45, it was never designed for your life stage, your income level, or your psychological reality. Let me show you just how ridiculous this advice really is. They tell you to cut a $5 daily coffee to save about $18 a year. Meanwhile, you might be paying $800 a month for a car, which costs you $9,600 annually. They have you obsessing over 2% of the problem, while completely ignoring 80%. That's not financial wisdom, that's misdirection. I've seen people track every $3 coffee while driving a $60,000 SUV they can't even afford. The system has you focused on all the wrong numbers, and it doesn't stop there. Here is what the gurus want to tell you about being over 45. You are in your peak earning years. The average 50-year-old earns about 67% more than the average 30-year-old. You don't need to penny pinch your way to wealth. You need to leverage your income advantage and stop playing these small money games. And that income advantage is just the beginning. You also have powerful psychological advantages that younger people just don't possess. At 25, you feel like you have 40 years to figure things out, so you research endlessly, jump between different strategies, and get distracted by every new financial trend. Crypto day trading, real estate flipping, whatever the latest guru is selling that week. 50. You don't have time for that nonsense. You have about 15 years to get it right, and that urgency creates incredible clarity. It eliminates analysis paralysis and forces you to take decisive action. This is what I call productive panic, and it's one of the biggest advantages that late starters have. I've studied investor behavior during market crashes, and guess what? Investors over 45 panic sell at rates 43% lower than investors under 35. Experience and urgency make you more rational, not less. During the 2020 market crash, while younger investors were panic selling and posting loss screenshots online, older investors were quietly buying and setting themselves up for massive gains. You also have another advantage. Younger people don't have fixed lifestyle costs. When a 25-year-old gets a raise, they immediately upgrade their apartment, their car, their entire lifestyle. Every extra dollar gets absorbed by lifestyle inflation. But at 50, your house is established, your car works just fine, and your lifestyle is already set. So when you get a raise, that money can actually go directly toward wealth building. So here's your real 2026 money strategy, not the generic advice that fails 92% of people, but what actually works for your age and your income level. First, focus on the big three expenses: housing, transportation, and taxes. These three categories represent roughly 70% of your total spending. Optimize these and you can ignore the coffee. Refinance your mortgage if it makes sense. Pay off your car instead of upgrading. Maximize your tax-advantaged accounts. These are moves that save you thousands, not just a few dollars. Second, automate everything. You're too busy to rely on motivation. Set up automatic transfers and investments so your progress happens whether you think about it or not. Third, save aggressively, not obsessively. Aim for 20 to 25% of your income. You earn enough to do this without tracking every single penny or living like a college student again. Fourth, invest simply. Index funds, target date funds, dollar cost averaging. You don't have time for complex strategies. And the good news is, simple strategies outperform complexity over the long run anyway. Fifth, you must max out your catch-up contributions. If you're over 50, you can contribute an extra $8,500 per year that younger investors legally cannot. That's free money. Use it at a 24% tax bracket. Those extra contributions save you over $2,000 in taxes, immediately on top of decades of tax-deferred growth. In sixth, understand inheritance timing. Most people receive inheritances between the ages of 55 and 65. That means when that money does transfer, you're in your peak earning years with established systems, ready to put it to work effectively. Stop thinking like you're behind. You're not behind. You are perfectly positioned to build wealth faster than most people ever will. I've seen 50-year-olds build more wealth in 10 years than 25-year-olds build in 25. One of my clients started at 52 with just $75,000 saved. By focusing on a high savings rate, simple investments, and a catch-up contributions, she reached $485,000 by the time she was 62. That's over $400,000 built in a single decade. Not through hype, not through shortcuts, but through smart strategies designed specifically for her life stage, her income level, and her timeline. 2026 isn't about repeating the same failed resolutions. It's about playing a different game entirely, a smarter game. If this changed how you think about money and helped you see why your age is actually an incredible advantage, please share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.